So, so hi everyone. Good evening. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. And do let me know in the chat box section if I'm perfectly audible and visible to you. So yeah, good evening everyone. So let's start with this specific session where we will be covering a few important articles from the Indian Express, because a lot of students always demand कि sir हम Indian Express क्यों नहीं cover करते हैं. So हम Indian Express के important articles को cover करेंगे. And in this particular session, we will be covering the important news which have occurred or which happened during 15th to 21st of June 2026. Now, we know this. If you are regular, then you must be knowing this particular fact. The one of the most important thing which has happened between 15th to 21st of June. There are actually two things. The first, there was a peace agreement between Iran and United States of America. Now the war has ended for a while. For next 60 days there will be no war in the West Asia. Iran will not bomb Israel, or it will not bomb Middle Eastern countries, and United States of America will not bomb Iran. It has been decided, and the particular deal agreement was signed in Geneva, Switzerland. It was supposed to be signed on 19th of June 2026, but it was actually signed on 21st of June 2026, right? So these are certain. Then we have second important news item this week, where the union government decided to block Telegram till 22nd of June 2026. 22nd of June 2026 was the date of re-NEET. And then we have this dancing girl controversy, where we will see that NCRT has made a major announcement, right? So we will cover these three news items in detail. To start with, we have the first one. To start with, we have the first news item. Beyond winners and losers, promise of a new West Asia. So basically, first we'll read the first passage, then we will directly move to the facts which are important for our examination, because we know this West Asian conflict is going to be one of the most relevant and important topic for your examinations, right? So let's start with this particular session now. Let's start with this particular session. Hi everyone. Hi. Let's start with this session. So, the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding signed remotely on Wednesday by US President Donald Trump and his Iranian counterpart, Masoud Pezeshkian, has triggered astonishment across the world. Critics in Washington argue that the agreement offers substantial upfront concessions to Tehran while leaving Iran's most consequential commitments to future implementation. The contrast between the Trump's earlier rhetoric of unconditional surrender and the eventual outcome has fueled criticism within his own political coalition. The backlash is not confined to the US. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who had nudged Washington into the war, confronts a major political setback. Less discussed are the implications for America's Arab partners in the Gulf, caught in the crossfire. If the MOU evolves into a broader reapproachment between Washington and Tehran, its long term consequences for the Gulf would be positive and profound. So let's start with this particular. Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding virtually. It was signed on 17th June by Donald Trump and Masoud Pezeshkian. Masoud Pezeshkian is the president of Iran, whereas Donald Trump is the president of United States of America. Now, this particular peace agreement, this particular memorandum of understanding or peace agreement was brokered by two countries, Qatar and Pakistan. Leaders from Qatar and Pakistan played a very important role while these peace negotiations were happening. And after this particular agreement was announced, it was also announced at the same time that on 19th of June 2026, there will be an in-person sign-in ceremony which will take place in Geneva, Switzerland. Now, from America, it was J.D. Vance, who will lead the negotiations in Geneva, Switzerland. But interestingly, there was a small hiccup when the leaders of Iran refused to travel to Geneva, Switzerland. They said that we have some, sentiments within our country where the people of our country do not want the leaders of Iran to shake hands with the leaders of United States of America. So we will follow the term and conditions of this particular memorandum of understanding, but we will not sign in person this particular deal. But again, there was a lot of negotiations which take place, and finally the deal was signed on 21st of June 2026 in Geneva, Switzerland. But अब the next important point हमारे लिए students है, so these are the some facts which might be relevant कि अगर आपसे पूछे कि डॉक्यूमेंट का नाम है, कहाँ पर साइन हुआ. अब डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने इस पर्टिकुलर डॉक्यूमेंट को कहाँ पे साइन किया था, इट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Document was signed by Donald Trump at Versailles. Now, Versailles is a place in France from where Donald Trump signed this particular document because he was in France to participate in the 52nd G7 summit. So this information is very, it's a very unique kind of information, and consortium of NLUs has always preferred unique information, right? So Versailles में Donald Trump ने treaty sign किया, इस particular peace agreement को sign किया था. Please keep it in mind that they might give you option that this particular deal was signed in Geneva, was signed by Donald Trump in Geneva, Switzerland. It was signed in Tehran, it was signed in Islamabad, or it was signed in Washington, D.C. Your answer would be this particular deal was signed by Donald Trump in Versailles, France. He was there to participate in the 52nd G7 summit. Now, let's talk about the important term and conditions, or the important uh, important conditions under Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. Now we know this, that the first round of negotiation in the month of April took place in Islamabad, and that was termed as Islamabad peace negotiations, right? So what are the important conditions, or what are the important uh, points under this particular heading that we have to discuss? So the first one is that Iran has allowed, now these points are very important, Iran has allowed inspection of all its nuclear facilities by International Atomic Energy Agency. This is the first one. Second one, United States of America has promised to defreeze assets of Iran worth 24 billion US dollars. Third one is United States of America has promised to lift all primary and secondary sanctions on Iran, and these primary and secondary sanctions, lifting of these primary and secondary sanctions will provide a platform to Iran so that they can import a lot of crude, they can export a lot of crude oil, they can have a lot of money to build their country again. Now the next important point under this particular discussion was that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Now at the same time, the president of Iran have maintained a position, and that position is that Iran has all the rights to have a nuclear program. उन्होंने बोला है ठीक है हम न्यूक्लियर वेपन डेवलप नहीं करेंगे, बट हमारे पास हर राइट है कि हम अपने कंट्री में एक न्यूक्लियर प्रोग्राम run kar sake and we can keep on enriching uranium. Now this might be one of the major points where United States of America can become quite skeptical, that from the beginning when this war started on 28th of February 2026, since then United States of America is continuously demanding one thing, कि भाई आप nuclear weapon नहीं रख सकते हैं, you are a rogue nation, you cannot have a nuclear weapon ever again, नॉट एवर अगेन, यू कैन नेवर हैव अ न्यूक्लियर वेपन। और उन्होंने ऑलरेडी यूरेनियम को 60% इनरिच कर लिया है और 90% यूरेनियम को इनरिच करना होता है टू डेवलप अ न्यूक्लियर वेपन, राइट? नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द अदर कंडीशंस एज वेल. So the next important condition when we talk about this West Asian conflict, now the next important point is that Iran will open Strait of Hormuz again. Now from the global perspective, this is the most important step, opening of the Strait of Hormuz, because students, we know this Strait of Hormuz is responsible for passage of 20% of the global crude oil, right? So Strait of Hormuz open hoga, but at the same time they have said that they will collect a nominal fee from the vessels passing through Strait of Hormuz. और ये नॉमिनल फी जो ये कलेक्ट करेंगे, इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या होगा? टू रीस्टोर marine ecosystem, to invest this money on insurance and restoration of ecology. So this particular fee will be invested in these particular areas. They will restore the marine ecosystem, क्योंकि इतनी ज़्यादा commercial ships Strait of Hormuz से पास होती हैं, that marine ecosystem is severely affected. Insurance वगैरह पे खर्चा करेंगे, and also the environment and the entire ecology of that particular area would be restored through the fee collected by Persian Gulf Authority from all the commercial ships which are crossing through the Strait of Hormuz. Now the next important point is that they will also they will also allow International Atomic Energy Agency to reduce the enriched uranium for civil use. अब इस समय जो ईरान के पास में यूरेनियम है, दैट इज 60% enriched, and I have already told you that you need 90% enriched uranium for development of nuclear weapon. बट ईरान ने बोला है कि हम इसको वापस से रीस्टोर करेंगे, हम 60 से 50 लेकर के आएंगे, 50 से 40, 30, 20 लेकर के आएंगे, और हम इसे तब तक डी इनरिच करते रहेंगे जब तक ये पर्टिकुलर यूरेनियम सिविल यूज के लिए केपेबल ना हो जाए. सिविल यूज का मतलब क्या होता है? दैट इट इज पोटेंट फॉर nuclear power plant. And the next important point related to this particular peace deal, that United States of America and regional partners will develop a comprehensive economic plan worth $300 billion for ईरान. अब ये जो $300 बिलियन का एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक प्लान है, इसमें बेसिकली यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका एंड ऑल द रीजनल पार्टनर, ऑल द गल्फ कंट्रीज विल इंश्योर कि ईरान के पास में लगभग $300 बिलियन का इन्वेस्टमेंट है, so that they can actually recover the cost of the entire war जो भी उनके कंट्री में डैमेज हुआ है इस वॉर की वजह से, वो सारा डैमेज वो रीस्टोर कर सकें, राइट? सो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी इंश्योर्ड बाय द यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका एंड ऑल देयर Gulf partners. And also this memorandum of understanding will ensure that the bilateral relations between Iran and the Middle Eastern countries should improve, right? So these are the two slides जो आप लोगों को बहुत अच्छे से cover करनी है. Now these are actually the three slides. This is the first one. These are the important facts related to this particular peace deal. Then we have the important conditions under the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. Now we have again 4-5 important conditions. अब स्टूडेंट्स एक चीज याद रखिएगा दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर पीस डील इज नॉट फाइनल. दिस डील इज नॉट फाइनल. दिस डील विल इंश्योर, दिस डील विल प्रोवाइड a window of 60 days. This Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding will provide a window of 60 days where Iran and United States of America can discuss a peace deal for long term. So please remember this, the objective of Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding is to provide a window of 60 days to Iran and United States of America to negotiate a proper peace deal, right? So this is one important aspect. So this is entirely about this particular topic. Now this will ensure that the situation in West Asia improves, but the responsibility lies upon Israel. Now Israel has a greater responsibility that they have to stop bombing southern Lebanon, but Israel has said that this memorandum of understanding is signed between Iran and United States of America, and we are a sovereign nation. We have our own objectives in Lebanon where we want to dismantle Hezbollah completely. So we will keep bombing southern Lebanon until our objectives are totally fulfilled, right? So these are certain points related to, hi everyone, related to the West Asian conflict. याद रखेंगे. There are 3 slides. आप इन तीनों slides को अगर एक बार cover कर लेंगे, so you will understand everything related to Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, which has stopped war between Iran and United States of America for the next 60 days. अभी इसमें main benefit किसका हुआ? इसमें main benefit जो हुआ है वो ईरान का ही हुआ, because they have got everything, and in exchange of that उन्हें वही चीज देनी पड़ी है जो वो पहले से बोल रहे थे, that we will not develop a nuclear weapon. They have asserted the same thing, and they have also allowed the officials of International Atomic Energy Agency to conduct an inspection throughout their nuclear facilities, right? So again it is a win-win situation for Iran, and that's why they are very happy with this particular peace deal. और उन्होंने अपनी dominance को maintain करने के लिए जो officials थे United States of America के उनसे हाथ भी नहीं मिला, right? Now moving on to the next point, and this particular deal will help the Arab partners of United States of America, because Arab partners or the Arab partners of United States of America उनको एक cost pay करना पड़ा इस war में, or they were not supposed to pay this cost, but they paid this particular cost because they were hosting a lot of American military and air bases. So Iran targeted these Middle Eastern countries as well. So now these Middle Eastern countries can also relax for a while, and in between these 60 days there are a lot of rumors, there are a lot of talks going on that all these Middle Eastern countries are looking for an alternative to bypass Strait of Hormuz, right? So again this is something which you should understand. अब इसमें आप अगर आप पूरे इस आर्टिकल को पढ़ेंगे, you will find all these things. अब इसमें कुछ important officials के नाम याद रखिएगा. The president of Iran is Masoud Pezeshkian. The speaker of Iranian Assembly, speaker कौन है? Iranian Parliament speaker कौन है? The speaker is Mohammad Ghalibaf. Mohammad Ghalibaf is the speaker of the Iranian parliament. You have to remember his name. He is a very important person. Now moving on to the next point. And when this particular deal was signed, we know Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also in France. He was also participating in the G7 summit. So the entire world has basically welcomed this particular peace deal. But the approach which is adopted by United States of America or Donald Trump might affect this particular peace deal, क्योंकि peace इसके पहले भी जब इस्लामाबाद पीस टॉक्स हुए थे, राउंड 1 ऑफ इस्लामाबाद पीस टॉक्स, तो उस टाइम पर भी ऐसा लग रहा था दैट द वॉर विल स्टॉप, बट आफ्टर फ्यू डेज both the countries starting bombing each other, and after that what happened, Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and there was a naval blockade by United States of America. Now we will discuss in detail about this recent fiasco created by नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी जब नीट का पेपर लीक होता है उसके बाद में एनटीए ने नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी ने किस तरीके से इस पूरी चीज को अप्रोच किया वी विल डिस्कस दैट एज वेल so now let's we will talk about a timeline we will talk about a timeline which timeline will this timeline will tell you that how things have unfolded so let's start with our discussion NEET and NTA crisis. So now students what happened on 3rd of May 2026 NTA conducted NEET examination throughout the country. Subsequently, on 12th of May 2026, NTA declared that paper was leaked and NEET 26 stands to be cancelled. Now, once this particular announcement was made, the next important thing was when re-NEET will take place. So the National Testing Agency made announcement that on 21st of June 2026, re-NEET will be कंडक्टेड अक्रॉस द कंट्री. अब इसी बीच में कंट्री के जो चीफ जस्टिस थे उन्होंने कंट्री के यूथ को पैरासाइट बोल दिया और इसी के बाद कॉकरोच जनता पार्टी भी एग्जिस्टेंस में आ गई राइट. सो दैट आल्सो टुक प्लेस ड्यूरिंग दिस एंटायर फियास्को एंड फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग मिस्टर अभिजीत दिपके द फाउंडर ऑफ कॉकरोच जनता पार्टी वो स्टार्टिंग से ही धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी का रेजिग्नेशन डिमांड कर रहे हैं राइट. अब 21 जून 2026 को क्या हुआ 21 जून 2026 को अनाउंस किया नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी ने दैट वी विल कंडक्ट री नीट एंड एट द सेम टाइम दे आल्सो मेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट अनाउंसमेंट दैट फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट ईयर NEET will be conducted in computer based test format CBT mode computer based test format. So from 2027 onwards अब NEET computer based test format में होगा CBT mode में होगा. Now when we talk about this examination NEET examination then you should know it is the National Testing Agency it is National Testing Agency which has been entrusted with the responsibility to conduct NEET and other entrance examination. Now students NTA was established in 2017. It was established as a society. It is an autonomous body. It is an autonomous body. Autonomous body का मतलब क्या होता है कि इनका जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन होगा ये पूरे अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को खुद ही मैनेज कर सकते हैं. दैट मीन्स इट इज एन ऑटोनॉमस बॉडी. नाउ इट वाज रजिस्टर्ड एज अ सोसाइटी एज पर दी इंडियन Societies Registration Act of 1860. It was registered as a society as per the Indian Societies Registration Act of 1860. The current Director General of NTA is IAS officer Abhishek Singh is the current Director General of NTA. Now, students, at the same time, we have to understand one more thing. When National Testing Agency was constituted in 2017, the main objective of NTA was to conduct computer-based tests, right? But NEET is not a computer-based test; it was a pen paper-based test, right? तो इस वजह से भी NTA को काफी दिक्कतें आ रही थी और एक ऐसी सिमिलर दिक्कत NTA को हुई थी, सिमिलर दिक्कत 2024 में, जहां पर देयर वर रिपोर्ट्स कि देयर हैज बीन अ पेपर लीक, देयर हैज बीन अ पेपर लीक। और इसके बाद में फिर क्या हुआ था, देयर वाज अ कमिटी विच वाज कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड बाय द यूनियन गवर्नमेंट टू रिकमेंड द रिफॉर्म्स in national testing agency. So what happened in 2024, there was again a minor case of paper leak, and after that a high level committee, a high level committee was constituted in June 2024. Now, in June 2024, a high-level committee was constituted under the chairmanship of T. Radhakrishnan. Under the chairmanship of T. Radhakrishnan, and this committee, T. Radhakrishnan was the former chairperson of ISRO. Now, in June 2024, a committee was constituted under the chairmanship of T. Radhakrishnan to suggest important, uh, you know, reforms in National Testing Agency. This committee submitted its report in December. 6 महीने के अंदर इन्होंने अपनी रिपोर्ट को सबमिट कर दिया. नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, द इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट इज कि इस आज तक टी राधाकृष्णन कमेटी की जो रिकमेंडेशंस हैं इनको इंप्लीमेंट नहीं किया गया है, right? That remains a very important point of discussion, that the recommendations of this particular committee are yet to be implemented, and the government has to take a strong take on this, right? Now, moving on to the next point. अब जब ये पूरा नीट का फियास्को हो रहा था, इसी बीच में एक और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज हुई, that government invoked section 69A of Information Technology Act 2000. Government invoked section 69A of Information Technology Act 2000. And what happened after government invoked section 69A of Information Technology Act 2000? The main objective was to block the use of Telegram till 22nd of June 2026. Second important point was that section 69A provides certain grounds where it can be invoked by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. तो कौन invoke करता है section 69A को? Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Absolutely fine. Now, what are the grounds where section 69A can be invoked? So the grounds are when there is a national security threat to the defense of the states, threat to the defense of the states के डिफेंस को किसी तरीके का थ्रेट है, नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को किसी तरीके का थ्रेट है, या थ्रेट टू द सिचुएशन ऑफ लॉ एंड थ्रेट टू द सिचुएशन ऑफ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, की लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की सिचुएशन खराब हो सकती है, या रिलेशंस ऑफ इंडिया with foreign countries can be affected. अब अगर इन ग्राउंड ऐसा कोई भी एक एप्रीहेंशन है गवर्नमेंट को दैट दीज फोर थिंग्स कैन हैपन, तो गवर्नमेंट क्या कर सकती है? गवर्नमेंट किसी भी पर्टिकुलर इंफॉर्मेशन को जो किसी कंप्यूटर सोर्स से या जो किसी सॉफ्टवेयर से ओरिजिनेट हो रही है, उस इंफॉर्मेशन को गवर्नमेंट ब्लॉक कर सकती है. नाउ absolutely fine, the point is absolutely gettable that if the government feels that this particular information can uh, endanger the national security or endanger the defense of the state, or it can affect the situation of law and order, or it can spoil India's relation with any foreign countries, that it can block any information originating from any computer software or any computer source. Now, when this particular order was passed by the union government or the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, अब इसके रिटेलिएशन में क्या हुआ? इसके रिटेलिएशन में क्या हुआ स्टूडेंट्स? टेलीग्राम filed a petition in the Delhi High Court challenging the order of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Telegram filed a petition in the Delhi High Court challenging the order of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Now, when this particular petition was filed in the Delhi High Court, what happened? Delhi High Court said that the decision taken by the union government is absolutely fine, and they are empowered to do so. They are empowered to do so. अब जब दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर पास किया, तो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में आर्ग्यूमेंट ये भी दिया टेलीग्राम ने, that only 2.2 million applicants will appear for NEET examination, whereas Telegram has approximately 150 million users in India, and Telegram has its biggest user base or the largest user base in India only. So is it proportionate to serve the interest of 2.2 million students? You are undermining this interest of 150 million users. So to counter this particular argument, the union government said that the existing mechanism are not enough to control the paper leak through Telegram. Now, the government also asserted a very important point, that Telegram has certain unique features which make it very much possible for different organization or for different individuals to do this entire paper leak and everything, right? और हमारे पास में जो existing mechanism है, वो existing mechanism capable नहीं है इस चीज को curb करने के लिए. That's why we have to block the Telegram app absolutely. अब at the same time the government also said कि हम 22 जून तक तो टेलीग्राम को पूरी तरीके से बैन रखेंगे, बट 22 जून के बाद हम टिल 30 जून 2026 जो पोस्ट मैसेज एडिटिंग फीचर रहता है, हम इसको भी ब्लॉक करके रखेंगे. तो आप इसे भी याद रखिएगा. नाउ फाइनली re-NEET was conducted successfully by the union government. Yes, day before yesterday on 21st June, on the occasion of International Yoga Day, the re-NEET was conducted successfully across the country. It was conducted across 5,440 platforms, right? अभी इस बार तो इंडियन एयरफोर्स ने भी थोड़ा बहुत हेल्प किया है नेशनल टेस्टिंग एजेंसी का. Right, so these are the points related to National Testing Agency and NEET, which are relevant for your examination. This is the first slide. Through this particular slide, you can understand the entire timeline beginning from 3rd of May and the origin of National Testing Agency. Then, T. Radhakrishnan Committee. Then on the next slide, you can see how the government of India has invoked Section 69A of the Information Technology Act 2000. Then the grounds under which the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is empowered to invoke Section 69A of the Information Technology Act. Then when the petition was filed in the Delhi High Court challenging the order of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, then what are the different arguments presented by both the parties? And finally, Delhi High Court has upheld the order passed by the union government to block the usage of uh, Telegram till 22nd of June 2026 in order to ensure कि रीनीट के एग्जाम में किसी भी तरीके की कोई दिक्कत ना हो. Right, now moving on to the next point. Okay, so this is entirely about this article. I hope you guys have understood everything. Okay, now this was the second important article from the last week. अब हम इसके बाद दोबारा दूसरे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट पे चलते हैं. दूसरा या तीसरा जो हमारा इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है, द फर्स्ट वन वाज बेसिकली it was West Asian conflict. The second one was Section 69A and Telegram, and the third one is dancing girl meet modest imagination. Now, what happened, students, that recently the National Council of Educational Research and Training, they have made a very um, important announcement, and the important announcement is कि मोहनजोदारो डांसिंग गर्ल इज अ फिगर. ठीक है, तो उसको वो रिप्लेस करेंगे क्लास 9th की टेक्स्ट बुक से. नाउ this statue or the figure of this dancing girl is in book for over 25 years, and finally they have decided that they will replace this particular picture. Now the point that we have to understand here is अब इस particular स्टैचू के बारे में हम कुछ पॉइंट्स कवर कर लेते हैं. दिस विल गिव यू अ प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट व्हाई दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग माइट बी रेलेवेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. तो मैं एक बार इन पे इससे रिलेटेड जो भी एडिशनल पॉइंट्स हम उनके बारे में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. सो दिस फिगरीन और दिस स्टैचू और दिस फिगरीन वाज अनअर्थ का मतलब क्या होता है कि इसको एक्सकेवेट किया गया था 19 दिस वाज अनअर्थ इन 1926 बाय जॉन. किसने इसका एक्सकेवेशन किया था? एक्सकेवेशन वाज डन बाय जॉन मार्शल इन 1926, राइट. एंड इट वाज डिस्कवर्ड एट मोहनजोदारो. ठीक है, और मोहनजोदारो अभी आजकल के टाइम पे कहाँ है? सो मोहनजोदारो आजकल के टाइम पे सिंध, पाकिस्तान में सिचुएटेड है. नाउ दिस फिगरीन ऑफ अ डांसिंग गर्ल, अभी ये 9th क्लास की टेक्स्ट बुक में, जिससे एनसीईआरटी ने, नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ एजुकेशन रिसर्च एंड ट्रेनिंग, हैज डिसाइडेड टू replace this particular figurine, right. Now moving on to the next important point, that it is expected that this particular figurine belongs to approximately 2500 BCE, 2500 to 2700 BC, बिफोर कॉमन एरा. एंड इसका मतलब क्या है कि ये फिगर जो है ये ऑलमोस्ट 46 to 4700 ईयर ओल्ड पुराना है. एंड करंटली दिस पर्टिकुलर फिगरीन is showcased, currently this particular figurine is showcased at National Museum in न्यू दिल्ली. तो अगर किसी को इस स्टैचू को रियलिटी में देखना है, इस डांसिंग गर्ल स्टैचू को रियलिटी में देखना है, तो नेशनल म्यूजियम न्यू दिल्ली विजिट कर सकते हैं. यू कैन सी दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टैचू देयर. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. एंड यू कैन ऑल्सो रिमेंबर अबाउट द अदर फीचर्स कि इसका साइज कितना है. सो साइज इज 4 इंचेस. सिर्फ 4 इंच की ये स्टैचू है जिसको लेकर के इतनी कंट्रोवर्सी हो रही है. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. अब अगर आप बहुत डिटेल में कवर करना चाहते हैं तो आप इसमें ये भी कवर कर सकते हैं कि जो ये स्टैचू है इसके लेफ्ट आर्म में 24 बैंगल्स हैं. लेफ्ट आर्म में 24 बैंगल्स, राइट आर्म में 4 बैंगल्स हैं. बट ये उतना मतलब रेलेवेंट नहीं है, बट एग्जामिनेशन में पता नहीं क्या पूछ ले, बिकॉज दिस एंटायर स्टैचू इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आप यहाँ पर देख भी सकते हैं। दिस इज द फिगरीन आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट। ठीक है, तो अभी ऐसा है, इसको अभी क्या करेंगे, ये ऐसा कर देंगे, इसको कपड़े पहना देंगे। मतलब दिस इज द मेन थिंग दैट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, कि अभी जो ये डांसिंग गर्ल फिगरीन है 4 इंचेस का, ये अभी ऐसा दिखता है। इसको ये कपड़े पहना करके अब ऐसा कर देंगे, और ये अब ऐसा ही बुक्स में पब्लिश किया जाएगा इस तरीके से। नाउ द पॉइंट दैट वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इज दैट you know why we are doing all these things, right? Because this is a historical figure. This tells you a lot about our civilization, that how our civilization has evolved over a period of time, and this particular statue represents उस टाइम पे जो कोर्ट होते थे, जो राजाओं महाराजाओं के कोर्ट होते थे, उसमें कुछ डांस परफॉर्मेंसेस लोग दे देते थे। So this particular statue used to give that dance performances there, right? So it tells you actually that how over a period of 4500 years हमारी ह्यूमन सिविलाइजेशन किस तरीके से इवॉल्व की है। एंड दिस इज अ फैक्ट, एंड फैक्ट शुड बी एक्सेप्टेड एज इट इज। यू कैन नॉट चेंज फैक्ट्स बाय कवरिंग देम विद मल्टीपल क्लोथ्स। अब आपने इसको एक स्वेट शर्ट पहना दिया है, राइट? अब स्वेट शर्ट अगर एनसीईआरटी ने पहना दिया है, इट स्वेट शर्ट पहनाने से चेंज क्या हो जाएगा? पीपल नो दिस ना। वो नेशनल म्यूजियम दिल्ली में जब भी विजिट करेंगे, दे विल सी कि वहां पर जो स्टैचू है, वो उसने कपड़े नहीं पहने हुए हैं। So this, this moral compulsion which was felt by the National Council of Education, Research and Training, it is not good. And why it is not good? Because people have all the rights कि उनको हर वो चीज़ वैसे ही पता चलनी चाहिए जिस तरीके से वो exist करती है, right? तो अब लेकिन इसको देखते हैं लेकर के कि क्या होगा। Now, moving on to the next point. अब बहुत सारी चीज़ें इस बार एनसीईआरटी भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा, नेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ एजुकेशन रिसर्च एंड ट्रेनिंग भी काफ़ी ज़्यादा लाइमलाइट में रहा है। पहले तो उन्होंने एक क्लास 8th की बुक में एक चैप्टर पब्लिश कर दिया था कि जुडिशियल करप्शन के ऊपर, राइट? एंड आफ्टर दैट दिस एंटायर फियास्को टुक प्लेस, राइट? अब ये जो पूरा फिगरीन है, ये साउथ एशियन आर्ट्स को सेलिब्रेट करता है, और कवरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टैचू विल नॉट सेंड अ वेरी गुड मैसेज टू द एंटायर country. Now, students, today we covered 3 important topics. अभी आप यहाँ पे we have 7 different slides through which you can cover this particular session. The first one was Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding. In Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, we covered कि कैसे पूरा इस्लामाबाद मेमोरेंडम अंडरस्टैंडिंग इवॉल्व हुआ, किस तरीके से इंपॉर्टेंट जो कंडीशंस थी इस्लामाबाद मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग में उनको ले डाउन किया गया, फिर किस तरीके से नेगोशिएट हुआ इस डील को, फिर ये फिगरीन जो था जिसको अभी एनसीईआरटी ने कपड़े पहनाए, ये हमने डिस्कस किया। फिर नीट और एनटीए से रिलेटेड जो हमारे इश्यूज थे, हमने उन्हें भी थ्रू 3 डिफरेंट स्लाइड्स हमने कवर किया, राइट? सो दिस वाज एंटायरली अबाउट टुडे सेशन। हमने इस क्लास में 3 इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स कवर किए इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के, जो हमारे लास्ट वीक के थे। हम ये पर्टिकुलर प्रैक्टिस कंटिन्यू रखेंगे। आई होप यू गाइस हैव अंडरस्टूड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग रिलेटेड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक्स। अगर आपको कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया, यू कैन ड्रॉप योर queries in the comment section. I will definitely answer. So thank you so much. Bye bye. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:45 in the